Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Do we have sound today? God. Yesterday I was ready to throw this whole thing out, like just stupid thing. I seriously did like probably 20-minute video yesterday, and then I thought I was done. Then went to the computer and it's like, oh, there's literally no sound. That's the one thing I struggle with the most in doing all of this stuff is just the sound. I have an external mic, but it's like a $35 mic after I broke my $100 mic. Shoot. But getting the sound on this is definitely a learning curve. Anyhow, how is everybody today? I am super well, and I'm ready to have a little bit of fun. We started yesterday talking about, all that, gosh, I kind of like stepped on a topic that I want to talk about today because I was just kind of like, just talking about my usual things, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, and by the way, spirituality is defined as this and religion is defined as that. And then I just kept going. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, we actually probably need to talk about that because, I think that most of us have experienced, just things that are one or the other. Right? Very rarely, at least in my lifetime, have I ever saw that they are both, right? Spirituality and religion, right? And that's ultimately, what we're doing here is aligning ourselves with spirit and becoming attuned to who we are to be as Creator intended. That is one of my main key points in my messaging. Right, in the, gospel according to Dale. Yay me! But, having grown up in a religious environment, I was very aware, especially as a young queer person, that I was being served religion, but I was nowhere in the picture being served spirituality, right? The two can cross over, admittedly. I have, witnessed a little bit of that, but rarely, like super rarely. Certainly not in my family. My family is a religious family. They are not a spiritual family. In fact, they're quite a disaster when it comes to like actual understanding, basic spiritual principles of love, care, and compassion. Right? Because that's on the spiritual side, right? Because that's on the love side, which is the absence of judgment, right? Spirituality is the absence of judgment, right? Whereas religion is literally founded on judgment. And we all know it. We've all experienced it. We've all experienced that religious judgment of not being good people. And I'm sorry, but if you're hanging out in environments where they are telling you, and they use language like we are all born sinners, that is damaging to your soul. You should not be around people who language things like that. That is dense. That is dark. That is unhealthy. Okay? And this is what, we kind of need to keep getting back to is how do we assess things in life, right? How do we assess things? We're getting away from, oh, I think that's good, or oh, I think that's bad, right? It has to be, is that loving? That's how we assess things. Are things loving? I've never been in a church environment that felt loving to me at all. And I've been in plenty of churches. Again, even my younger brother's religious marriage ceremony was so steeped in judgment and dogma. It was punitive towards his wife, who, as they were languaging it, is second fiddle to him. Right? Is to take the place of the wife and be subservient to him as the man of the house. I'm kind of always shocked when women are Christians, or take up that kind of like dense, dark. Like, I lived in Utah when they were trying to get the legal marrying age up from 12 to 14 years old. It failed in the state legislation. The legal marrying age for women, well, I guess for all people, but really, I mean, it's targeting women. Come on, let's call a thing, right? Is still 12 years old. You can get married, legally married in Utah. And they think that's fine. Does that feel like religion or does that feel like spirituality, right? And again, I'm not saying that the two can't cross over, and I'm really hoping that they're getting it together and they're figuring out their way to the top of the mountain, the same mountain that I am climbing. So again, I don't have any judgment on that, but I certainly have a boundary. If that works for you, go ahead. Have fun with that. Because, I'm just done, to the point where I won't even facilitate conversations with religious people because they always want to language my humanity as good and bad. Right? I don't facilitate those conversations at all. Nope, no way. So, we have to have a better understanding of the difference and be really clear that rarely is there crossover, right? That what you're being served in terms of religion is dense and dark, often. Not always, but often. I mean, come on. If they're asking you to eat flesh and drink blood, that gets a little dense and dark for me. So, do with it as you will. But that's just not my cup of tea. So, anyhow, I just wanted to, take a minute and talk about the difference for, hopefully all of us, that we can start assessing things by is it love and looking at the energy that's being served. When you walk in there, do you feel good or do you feel judged? Do you feel like you need to, be prim and proper, or can you just be yourself? Do you want to hang out with people who say we are all born sinners? Or do you want to hang out with people that says we are all fabulous? Yes, we have work to do, but we are all born fabulous because you are, right? And it's so funny that we as humans trying to move the mark of who the other human is with judgment, when really, I would think most Christians would even agree that we are put on this earth to discover what Creator intended. What did Creator intend with me? This crazy body, this crazy mind, right? What did He intend? And so when religion is offering you up those types of solutions in a package that's dense and dark energy, and you swallow it, and then you don't feel good, I don't know, maybe there's correlation there. And again, it's I look at all of my really religious relatives, oh my God, they're so unhappy. All of them are just stressed and unhappy, and they just go through life with judgment, and it's so crazy. And that's fine. Go do that over there. But there's bleed over, right, from that. That bleeds into my life when they go and practice that type of religion, which serves up judgment on me and my character. Because, sweetie, let me tell you, you go and join a Jesus group. Those laws are there to regulate you, right? The one who's signing up for the Jesus group, not for me, because I didn't sign up for it. So you can keep your laws and your rules and your traditions off me and my body, and so long as I'm living within the confines of the law, you pretty much can go jump off a bridge. Okay, that's great. Because I'm so done with it. But if we look at the main purpose of religion, what is it? Originally it was set up as an early form of government, really in terms of organizing the people, but also gaining control over them, right? And so, was it Constantine took all the books that he had from, the various regions, and he looked at them. They didn't all make the cut, but the ones that he did he put together into form the Bible, which was created 200 years after the events that actually happened. So I'm not sure how good of a, note-taking system they had. They certainly didn't have computers back then, but, I guess once it's etched in stone, so to speak, That's good record keeping. But again, like I've had to make light of it, and I'm not like laughing at them, but like the absurdity of it to me anyhow is just, it's a little much sometimes, because like you want to use this as a cudgel against queer people, and yet it's so on its face like not really, at least to me, it doesn't have much value because there's no love there, right? If there was, I probably would have experienced a little bit of it by now, don't you think? But I never have. And when I go and read all the traditions, like, and all the actual practices of these churches on people like me, well, it's hard sometimes not to completely lose it. Right? But that's the blessing, because everything is like a double-edged sword. And I've always been completely in love with this world and how they produce spiritually fit people out of horrible circumstances. Like many of the people that I have looked to and read their works have either survived the Holocaust or have been just a black person in America. Like, this country is still so shockingly racist. Oh my God, even my relatives. I mean, man. Like, it's so shocking to me that this still goes on, that people think that other people are better because of the way that they look. Like, it's just so, like, I just can't understand it. Anyhow, but no pressure, no diamonds, kind of so to speak. And it's one of the reasons that I come in here and have, quite frankly, the ability to share some of these thoughts and ideas, because I've been forced to deal with them for a lifetime. Right? There's no privilege for me in terms of opting out of the fight, ever. I don't get to opt out, so what do I have to do? I have to adjust myself and my thinking to live in a homophobic world where everybody in my life says people who belong to organizations that clearly call me out as a terrible person, that clearly has judgment against me, and they're all going to say that that's fine, that good people belong to institutionalized bigotry. They'll say that to my face. Good people belong to organizations that hold the most horrific institutionalized bigotry against me and my family, and I have to sit there and smile and not lose it, right? Because there's plenty of times I want to, because like it's just not hitting the radar, right, at all. When I was teaching sewing and quilting, and these Mormon ladies would get up there and talk about their religion that they know I can't get membership to because I'm a queer person. And they just talk about it like it doesn't even hit the screen that I guess if they belong to the KKK or some type of white supremacy, they would be able to talk about that in front of black people or Jewish people, and that would be fine. Tell me what's the difference? Like my relatives who seat me next to openly homophobic people. I guess they think it's okay to seat black people next to openly racist people. There is no difference. None. But again, it doesn't even hit the screen. Right? So, that's my pressure. So I'm here telling you my diamonds. Hooray! Right? The majority of my spiritual leaders in life that I have looked to and worked with have often been minorities of some kind. And again, it's that understanding that they have had to use these principles in their life to go through the American journey and not lose their mind, because they're functioning within an organization, a country, a government that is openly, against them. And how do you deal with that, right? Because it's very difficult to be on this side of it. Like, I can't openly talk against churches, not online. I would get shut down so fast if I said what I actually thought online. Because they have protections, right? We look at freedom of religion, right, as a protection. And so the Catholic Church failing to recognize my marriage and my humanity is fine, but I can't speak out about it. I can't get super vocal on social media against that without getting shut down, right? That's why gay people were fighting so hard to get the same protections, because we didn't have them. And you still could get fired in America for being gay up until last year. That bill, the equity bill, finally came up in the Congress. 3 Republicans voted for it. It did pass because all the Democrats voted for it. But only 3 Republicans said, yeah, these people are actually worthy of protection and not getting fired from their jobs or having some type of security in their life to live openly without fear. 3 Republicans. So if you go and join that nonsense and say, oh, well, it's because of my tax break. Okay. I see who you are. I understand the value that you're putting in my relationship and my life, quite frankly, for a tax break. Okay. I understand who you are. Again, no judgment, good luck, and you can go over there. You can't come over here on my island of safety. No way. Because I have to protect that. I have to protect that for my own sanity, right? Okay, so I just wanted to touch base because I so briefly just walked over the subject, like yesterday. Oh, and by the way, this is how you define spirituality. This is how you define religion. And I thought we should actually take a minute and actually talk about that, right? Because it is a vastly different approach to something that on the surface looks similar, but underneath is not at all the same, right? Because you can't practice a religion that is punitive and hateful, right? And go, oh, well, I got spirituality down. No, you don't. You have nothing approaching spirituality, because spirituality is love, right? And you're dealing in something that deals in judgment. They're just polar opposites. They are not the same at all, right? So again, watch the energy that's being served. Are you being told that you're wrong? That you're a sinner? That's why all my, I think, Christian relatives are so depressed, right? Because they're in this environment, and quite frankly, oh man, I look at how dense and dark they are in their own minds and how much they just want to flog themselves for being sinners and being bad and stuff like this. And I'm just like, that is optional, but that's what they know, I guess. And maybe their idea of salvation is different than mine, right? And we all get to do this our own way, because at the end of the day, we're all headed in the same direction. I know it doesn't look that way, but we really are. It's like Marianne Williamson says, and it's one of my favorite quotes of all times, is that everything we do is either love or a cry for love. And we all are on the same mountain. Not all of us are heading towards the top, right? There's plenty of people who are just kind of milling around the bottom of the mountain, right? And that's fine too. They get to do that. That's their thing. That's their aim. They don't have any, ideas of trying to evolve, right? And that is totally fine. That is totally fine. They get to do it their way. For us who are interested in evolving as spirits and as souls, I think that there is something there that we need to be serious about and look at in terms of what are you being served. Be so careful in what you sign up for and pay attention to the energy of what you're being served and asked to swallow. Are you being asked to swallow flesh and blood and judgment? And again, I'm super curious. In fact, I've had this thought several times. It'd be so interesting to me to have Christians change my mind, because I'm not in here saying that they're bad or wrong. I'm saying this has been my experience of your traditions and your, entities. Like, that's just it. I've never seen any different. But again, I'm not in here saying that that's the way it is. I'm saying prove me wrong. Show me where the love is. Show me where the love is. Come on, let's do it. Let's all try and do better. So if you belong to a Christian faith that you think functions from a place of eternal love and joy, I'm super curious. I've never seen it. I think it might exist somewhere where, I would feel loved and accepted and, oh, trust me, I'm still not going to hold your hand and kumbaya with you because, I have too many scars. But I would still be open to, having that conversation and learning more because I'm not closed-minded, right? I'm here to learn. And when you are an open-minded person living in abundance, changing your mind on something is a token of evolution. That's part of it. That's the keystone of evolution, is learning more and changing your position on things as you evolve. We learn more, we do better. That's just the way it is. So again, if you come across this at all and you're like, oh, he is a total jerk. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. Yes, I am. That's part of my charm. But, seriously. If you think I'm wrong on anything that I say up here, let me know and show me the receipts. Because I got plenty of the other receipts, the other direction. Right? Don't I? Don't we all? Don't we all have emotional scars from religion that is based in judgment? Maybe one day they will find love. I hope they do. Because it actually pains me to see my religious family members so tormented and down. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I know I talk a lot of smack about, my brother, but oh my God, I would not want to trade positions with that guy. He's so beaten down and he's so dense and so it makes me sad a little bit. And I understand that he's had to take that position in order to do his life the way that he thinks it should be done and the way that he's told it should be done. I get it. But dude, where's the love? Where's the joy? Where's the personal freedom? Right? So you're going to judge me instead and tell me I'm bad because you feel bad? Okay, good luck with that. Right? Because at the end of the day, we are all on the same mountain. I don't care what faith community you belong to, right? We're all in this, on this trek of evolution. And I hope that everybody finds it. That's part of the reason I'm here every day, talking this all into being, is that I really believe that maybe I can help some people, even if I help a couple people, right? Because I am a product of Eckhart Tolle. I am a product of Eckhart Tolle's book, New Earth. In his book, he talks about the evolution of flowers. Because there was a time on planet Earth prior to there ever being a flower. Much like there was a time on Earth ever before there was ever a Bible. There was a time on Earth before there was ever any of us. It's all man-made, all of it, even religion. I know y'all want to think, oh, it's God's word, whatever he spoke into bears. Did he? Were you there? Do you have firsthand account? Or is it a collection of books that was put together 200 years after the events took place, which happened 2,000 years ago? I don't know. I wasn't there. So to have certainty, right, that level of closed-mindedness and certainty, right, is not of spiritual nature, right? It has to be free. It has to be free-flowing, right? Because Spirit is abundance. Spirit is everything. Spirit is the evolution of, right? And it's always additive. So whenever you get into an environment that's closing things off rather than being additive and living in abundance, that's when you know danger, 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 right? And then you throw the word righteous on top of that. Oof, man. Yikes. It just gets really dense, really dark, really fast, so judgy. So, but that's what we're doing here, right? I mean, the whole experiment, the whole human, raison d'etre, right, is to have that human experience. And if anybody is denying you any part of that experience that you need in order to fulfill your soul's assignment this go round, if anybody's denying you any of that, that's not of spirit, that's not of love, because we're here to experience and to know about things. And if we're limiting what we can or should do on this earth because it's bad, who says it's bad? Is it of love? That's what I want to know. So, that's where we are. I just wanted to clarify that one thing because it's such an important topic, right? Like, what is spirituality versus what is religion? And I think more and more, people are recognizing that those two are not hand in glove, especially if you've had an upbringing like me. So, anyhow, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. You're going to have fun, right? Because at the end of the day, that's why we're here, right? We are here to have fun, and we are here to take control of our own lives and to not be sad, right? Because life is tricky. Life is difficult, right? So we got to take control of it. You got to find things that give you joy, baby, right? And what is it? Where are you doing on your daily, routine in order to throw yourself into as much joy as possible, right? Because you can do that. That you're in charge of that. You can just watch this video and dance along with me and be as stupid as possible, and experience joy. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for you in your life. Because what I'm trying to do is to get you to recognize that here, what we're doing here on this little screen is just a slice of what's available. And once you recognize that you no longer need this screen in order to access that, and that you can access it at any time, ooh, baby, there is power there. There is power. You can stand in the presence of people and you can be feeling the spirit and the joy of everything that you were given in this world, right? You can experience it in the face of the worst atrocities and you can still dance it out. And you can still access joy, even in your toughest moments. I promise you, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And we're going to find exercises that no matter what you're doing, no matter how bad your day is, that you can't help but experience joy. One of those things for me is definitely my baton. Woohoo! Right? Because I found, much like the Me 100 exercise, it is impossible for me to be in a bad mood while I am twirling a baton. I literally can't, it's like my joystick. Oh, it's my joy button. It's my well, okay. Gotta be a little bit careful there. But yeah, I started taking baton twirling when I was 40. Yeah, I just got divorced. And I literally was doing it because I was like, oh my God, I can't be in a bad mood when I'm twirling a baton. And trust me, I'm not great at it. I enjoy doing it because, once again, it's like my joy button. I can't do this without experiencing joy. So I hope that you're having a great day. Go twirl a baton and have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.